Okay. So we're Elementor AI. How good is it? There's, of course, it's still in beta, and it's they jumped on the AI bandwagon. But there's been questions as to whether or not it's any good or easy to use, and so we decided to take it for a spin. Um, Brian has done some work on the text encoding, and then I did some playing around with the images. So that's how we're going to break this out. Brian's going to talk about text and coding and using Elementor AI for that. And when he's done with that, then I'll go in and talk about images. So that being said, is there anything else that we need to say at the beginning, Brian? Nope, Brian's gone.
No, not not that I can think of. I don't know the order you just mentioned. You wanted me to go first.
Yeah.
How long is yours? I was just trying to see if the shorter one could go first and the longer one could go
I
second.
think mine would probably be shorter than yours. I'm not positive,
Okay.
but
Okay.
you want me to do the images first?
Yeah, if you don't mind doing images first, only because mine is going to be more interactive with the group.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Let's okay. Elementor image generator. Let's see here. What we're going to do, I'm going to cover some of the things that you can do with the image generator and image prompts. We can do generative fill, which is like taking out let's say that you've got a field and you want to put a person standing in it. You can select an area in your image and say, put a clown in this space, and the clown will appear in the field, let's say. Expand image, let's say you have an image it's a square image, but you like the image, but you want to somehow try to find a way to expand it to 16:9 aspect ratio. It'll help you do that. Variations, you can when you enter an image prompt, you'll get 4 variations out of the gate. You can resize the dimensions of your image. You can make it bigger, higher res, lower res. All the training videos I have seen on YouTube or Elementor up until now the maximum was like 1250 wide. Now it's over 2000, so that's cool. You can delete and change backgrounds, and at least with my experience with it, it does a pretty great job on that. And then there's an image gallery that pops up inside the interface when we are adding images. So what I have done is I'm going to, where am I here? Okay. Let's see. Update. I don't know what I did, but I'll update it. Okay. These are some images that were created by AI. Now you'll see that it still has work to do. Like look at this guy's eyes. He's got a wandering eye. And it looks like this woman's hand is in this lady's pocket. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but anyway, and this is pretty good. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. And then this is with the generative fill. We had a picture of a fern, and and I'm going to show you how this works. We blocked out an area and said fill it with flowers of certain colors and such. And then this is a demo of remove and replace background, because this background is just a color in the section, this image, and we will do this again. And this is one from a prompt, just straight up prompt. And I think my prompt was something like a cyberpunk cityscape at night in the style of Blade Runner. And this is what it gave me. And it did pretty good. It's got some of this sort of Japanese-like writing on it, because if you remember Blade Runner, it had a lot of Japanese. And then he's got a shotgun or a weapon here. So, and he's wearing a coat. So they got that part right. But one of the things I've noticed in some of the other images I generated playing around with it is just like Midjourney 3.5, and I believe it was Midjourney 4.2, had issues with hands, fingers, and feet, and sometimes arms and legs. Like you might get a person that has 3 legs or 6 fingers or something, or fingers that are twice as long as they naturally would be. So they're probably using as their engine, although Brian tried to wheedle the information out of Elementor. When was it you talked to Verdi about what engine they use? Didn't you ask him about that, Brian?
Yeah, I did. He didn't provide too much information. I think it was in a Slack chat that we had, but yeah, we don't know the engines that are running Elementor's AI. For all I know, they could have created their own, like Google.
I don't. Yeah. Well, that'd be an interesting. I'm sure that somebody knows the answer to that, but I don't.
Yeah.
So,
But
okay. So and so we did. That was the generative fill. This one was I took an image that they suggest in here. I think I took this image, well, actually, in this prompt, and put it into Elementor AI, and then it gave me an image kind of like this. And then I said, okay, expand it to fill 16:9. And so it not only made it bigger, it added more, it painted the rest of the picture as it thought it should look like. So we're gonna go through and do these again. So let's take a look at, let's start over. Make sure I'm on the right thing here. Okay. So I'm going to edit with Elementor. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to add an image with actually here we go. This, copy the prompt, and it's a pretty long prompt. Just like with some of the other AI tools, if you can give a really good descriptive prompt, that helps a lot. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to edit with AI, and we're going to put a prompt in here. And let's say we'll do a digital art. And style, we're going to go, oh, lots of choices. Isometric, I think. And let's go 16 by 9. Let's see what happens. So this is different from how I did it before. Okay. So let's take,
That first image doesn't have balloons and confetti in it.
yeah. I wonder why they're having confetti. Let's see this. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. We got other things to do, but we'll go with that. So we're going to edit it. And what I want to do is no. What I'm going for is expanding it out to where that the parts that are cut off can be generated. Let's see if it works that way. So if it figured that out. Not really. So this is closest. So what we can do is edit. And let's do that again. I'm going to see if we can get a better one. Let's see if it understands that. Going to digital art, and we'll go to isometric, and we'll go to landscape. Let's see what happens. Better. Except I'm not sure why they're all standing in the wrong direction. But we'll just use this image for now. Okay. Let's edit this image with AI. We're going to resize it. And it's 704. We're going to take it up to 1920 or thereabouts. Okay. Now there's some weirdness going on. Look at that. The shoes don't match. Some people have eyes, some people have eyebrows, some people have nothing. That guy's got kind of a chin, and so it certainly needs work. So where did I keep doing that? Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the prompts library. Images. Okay, so we did the AI art generator. So let's go to the next one. Trying to do something like this again. So I'm going to right click, delete. Then I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to go to this, and I use this prompt. I think. Copy prompt. And, okay, and you'll see it's a pretty long prompt. Click on that. Let's create with AI icon. Put in the prompt. And of course it's photographic. Landscape. Landscape 16:9. Generate image. Okay. Let's see how they did. Let's look at this one. That's not bad. Let's edit it and resize. Take it up to the max. Generate. And use image. Of course, you can question whether the art's any good, but that's actually not bad. It's got the shadows casting over here, which is kind of cool, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Just
only
need,
thing I found so far is the coffee table right in the middle. The legs don't look all the way right, but
yeah, it looks like there ought to be a fourth one over here somewhere.
or
So
they should be, if it's gonna be three, they should be positioned a little different. It just doesn't go with it.
yeah, good catch. So anyway, this is not perfect. But I mean, you could crop out some things.
What I'm really noticing about the tool is that how how much time it basically saves you, for lack of a better way of putting it. Um, since it's built into Elementor, you wouldn't use it for anything super detailed, a hero image that someone was just putting a lot of focus on.
Yeah,
But if it was, um, an image that was accompanying something else, maybe some text, maybe behind an overlay, um, where someone really would be able to point out
right,
something as minute as that.
right.
Interior design studio, and you have a dark overlay over it, and it, has some profound statement, it will work
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
So the speed is what I love. if
Mhm.
you could just spin up an image like that for background purpose or what have you, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you could have it muted or hardly showing through an overlay, and you wouldn't probably notice it. But
Yeah.
let's see here, trying to find that place. Oh, while I'm keep ended up getting back to this, for Elementor AI, you have to pay for. Um, it's not free, and it costs it says $2.99 a month for 18,000 credits, and that's for a year. And then you get billed yearly at 35.88, and of course you can see the AI power is 50,000 credits and works out to $100 a year. And the way the credits are done is you're charged 1 credit for every text prompt you do. And correct me, Brian, if I make a mistake about the text, for 1 credit for every text prompt, every HTML prompt, and every code CSS prompt and code. Is that right?
I believe to be so.
Yeah. And then, but images take 33 credits. So every time you generate an image, you use 33 credits. And I did the math earlier today, and that works out to about 545 images. And of course, when you're
Yeah,
playing
that's
around
not the
with
bad.
this,
Okay, I'm in a Zoom.
and when you're playing around with this, you're gonna generate images you don't use. So I guess the jury's out as to whether or not that's a good deal or not. So anyway, what was I looking for? Interior design. Images. Oh, by the way, this URL where I'm at is at prompts.elementor.com. I'll copy that and put it in chat. Let's see here. Chat. Okay, that's in chat now. All righty. So we've get that out of the way. We've expanded the image. We did variations. We resized. We're going to do generative fill again. So I'm going to delete this. Delete. And I'm going to add an image. Go up to the generate with AI. And actually, what I'm going to do is choose an image. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this. And put that in there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to generative fill. And I'm going to take this to, I think, about 50. And then I'm going to write this prompt. That prompt. I'm going to take, let's say, go about like okay. So it's going to put flowers in this around this area that's covered up. So let it see what it comes up with. When I did this earlier, I ran into a couple of these before. There was one that came up that had a hat with flowers in it, and it was peeping through those things. But
Is that
actually,
a head?
not. Sorry.
Is that a head?
Yes, that's a guy, I think, and that's a woman, I think.
Wow.
But
Now I do think the woman one is it almost looks like it's a head of hair. Her hair is flowers, so that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that might be an interesting prompt.
Yeah,
So
coming out of her
this
mouth.
one, um,
Yeah, that one looks good.
that one looks pretty good. We'll use that.
Top one looks pretty good too. Top right, upper right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll use that. We're gonna do any editing to it. Yeah, let's resize it.
But that is cool to be able to do it right in the tool itself, so you don't have to go outside to
Yep.
Midjourney or Leonardo, then have to download that image.
Yep. And use this image.
Can you change the aspect ratio?
Yep. Yep. Watch. We'll do this. Wrong thing. What's going on here? Okay. Let me. Well, you'd kind of have to do that now that I say that when you're building it. Let's see. I'm gonna go landscape, and I'm going to shrink it down, and then I'm just gonna let it generate it auto.
You could probably use the fill and fill it in to make it, but it's
Oh, interesting. So let's do the resize. I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay. You ever see that before, Brian?
I haven't. Just hit try again. It's probably um, just thinking.
Hmm.
Yeah, it happens with all the AI tools. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is that you'll be in the middle of something and it'll lock up on you. I've made it a habit to copy and paste. I'm sorry, copy my prompt prior to hitting submit on any AI tool I use. Because sometimes you'll have to refresh the page or you'll lose that entire prompt.
Well, it doesn't. It wants to get all fancy. So what we might have to do is let's do.
What was next on your list?
Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to I'm going to remove background. Okay.
Wow.
And then I can make it.
And these essentially are Photoshop tools that you now have inside of Elementor.
And if we want, we could drop this into an 11, 16 by 9 image. And that's kind of what we did here. Let's take a look at this. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to add a container, and do that. That's a container, and we're going to, let me make it a little bit bigger. Let's go this way. A little bit bigger this way. And we're going to add an image and use create with AI. And this is we're going to use this as our one we're going to work from. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to remove the background. And it does a pretty good job. And that's pretty much what we have. It's pretty much what we have here. And then we can, I think what I did originally, I didn't know if you had to first had to put a image background behind it. So I just thought, well, let me try the color just on the section or the container. Still want to call them sections. So we'll go background type, just regular color, and that color actually kind of goes with the image anyway. So that looks kind of cool. Then you could.
So it's creating a transparent PNG, or
Yeah. I don't know if it's a PNG or a WebP. Let's open it up.
oh, okay.
I've learned something. I don't know what each of you does for a living or how you use Elementor or WordPress, but you know, WebP is the big next gen image format, and they are not higher quality, less bytes, and it's everybody's talking about. Well, you need to use WebP. Thing is, other industries are lagging behind. Like, so if you use a featured image as and do it with a WebP, then there are some social media platforms that don't support WebP, so it won't pick it up. And some email tools like Constant Contact don't support WebP images. So anyway, so I thought, what would it be like to take this image and put it in the background of this? So let's see.
I'm curious how the images are being saved on the database. Ultimately, how they're being saved on the database. Like if you take that man let's quote unquote say it's a PNG and you put it on that background, is it now one image that's being saved? Is it multiple images and it comes together?
I think it's 2 images. Let's see. Let's say that again, Brian.
I'm just wondering how it's actually being saved.
How this is being saved?
Yeah, can you,
Yeah.
the
We'll
image
look-
itself, the
Yeah.
image itself of the man on that background,
Yeah.
you just
Well,
removed it. Do you still have editing capabilities later on? Or is it being,
I'll show you. That's the image. Of course, these are transparent pixels, but they're not showing up that way in this here. But now you could open this up and do something to it if you wanted to. But so that's pretty cool.
No.
And then this, as I mentioned before, so let's see if we can what we can generate. I'm not going to replace it, delete that. Let me edit with Elementor. Let's see here. Let's add another one. And we'll call it image, generate with AI. We'll call it photographic. No, we'll call it digital art. And we'll go comic book. Let's see what that does. Then we'll go landscape. And we'll go scene. Cityscape. Cityscape at night. With rain. At streets. Did I reach the end here? No, I did. Okay. Wet streets. Oh, it's cyberpunk. Cyberpunk scene of a cityscape. Wet streets in the style of Blade Runner.
So that's where you set up the aspect ratio
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
very beginning. Okay.
And that's a cartoon version. It looks pretty cartoony. What's that? I'm not sure where all that is. These are doing weird things at the bottom, but this one looks like it might have done its job. That's not bad. Although one of the things too that you run into when I don't know about the latest versions of Midjourney or Leonardo or all the others, but they have trouble with text. You see, it's just kind of blah. So you'd have to go back and fix that if you wanted to, or um, so you can jump on it. I'm going to use this image just for that. So let's see, that's a small image. But if
Did you say what the what engine is being used to generate
no,
the?
they have. We don't know yet. They won't.
Oh,
They haven't been able to tell us.
okay.
Um, so what? Let's. Let's resize. Let's make this big. See, I got this kind of funked out, but so let's see. What have we done?
Yeah, probably it could just be a two, and then
We've
they.
done the generate images from command prompts. We've used seed images with command prompts. We've done generative fill. We've done
Right.
resize.
You
We've
know,
done expand.
Hey, Terry, I'm curious if you in your AI prompt, what if you put a prompt in there that says with a sign in the background that says, you know, Carrie's Flower Shop? I mean, would it put that in there?
Let's give it a shot and see. Um, let's see. I don't know if this is going to break it out or not, but create an image of a flower shop with a sign over the door saying Carrie's Flower Shop. Photographic style will go landscape. Um, and generate image. Well, almost.
That's pretty impressive, except it says shoot.
Yep, and the apostrophe is kind of funked out,
Yeah.
but yeah. Again, this isn't the engine. We don't think the engine this is the latest and greatest that's available. Let me see what I can do. This is
But it's getting better. I mean, I remember
yeah.
when it didn't even know what letters were, you know? So
there's this prompt enhancer that you can try. Gets into
now
more
that
detail.
prompt enhancer, is that like are you able to do follow-up prompts with the
Yeah,
prompt
yeah,
enhancer?
or you can edit what they come up with. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So let's see how it does this time.
I always have trouble with hands with 3 fingers
Yeah,
or 6 fingers.
but in the Midjourney 5, I haven't run into that. It has trouble with that as well. It just has trouble.
Yeah, it butchered that.
Yeah. Yeah, it has trouble with spelling and words and letters and fingers. But so anyway, we could go on and on and on. But I think that's about all I wanted to show you. We've got these different things that you right now we can do with Elementor AI, and we've got these image prompts, but there's not very many. But they have them for content, and they have for code. But again, there's not that many. So they're still working on a library. So anyway, you take it away, Brian.
Okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sharing. I'll let you share.
Thanks, Karen. So I'm going to talk about the text portion of the new Elementor AI tool and what you can do with that. And just to give you a little background, being that I'm the resident AI machine learning geek, I was extremely skeptical of the Elementor AI tool when it first came out. I've been using ChatGPT, Midjourney, Leonardo since they all came out. And I really didn't see the benefit because I was really more married to ChatGPT and what it could do. So when it first came out, I was like, yeah, we could use the tool for text inside of Elementor. That'll save you some time for going out, having to get web copy and such. But what made it a game changer for me is when you could get custom code directly in Elementor itself. Custom code that you could apply to whatever you need to do at that time. So instead of you having to go research the code, find out where the code is, and then paste it in, it's right there in the Elementor ecosystem for you to use. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to go through using the Elementor AI for text. We're going to do text as well as some code. And it's going to be participatory where I'm going to ask you guys for some prompts. The way I like to use AI tools, I like to try to break them. I try to take them to the limits and just see how as far as I can really push it. We're not going to do that per se today with the Elementor tool, but we are going to try to see if we can create some things that we would need in a normal website build. We're going to take on the persona of a pizzeria, a New York City based pizzeria. So let me go on and share screen. I just created a little Word document that's going to help us go along. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So me coming from the ChatGPT world, I love training my AI tool before I use it. So we're going to do a comparison of ChatGPT to the Elementor AI with both text, CSS, as well as HTML code. So the comparison should show us that what I expect to find from this little experiment is that the Elementor AI tool is comparable enough to ChatGPT where it would be a no-brainer not to use it because you're already in the Elementor ecosystem while you're doing a build. So if you need a quick headline, instead of going to ChatGPT and spinning it up there, you can easily create it in Elementor and continue on your way with your build. So let me just make sure my, okay, there is my ChatGPT. One of my favorite prompts is clear context. So what that does is that just wipes it out. Instead of me having to create a whole new chat, I can just, I must spell it right, but I didn't even have to spell it correctly. ChatGPT knew what I was trying to say. So I'm good there. Let me move this zoom around a little bit. It's, there we go. Move this to the bottom. Okay, and now you guys should be able to see my my
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
Elementor. Great. Let me delete all these and start from scratch. So the first thing we're going to do is text. So we want AI to create web copy for the description of an 18-inch pepperoni pizza. Let me first go back and explain who we are. So we're an Atlanta-based pizzeria that's offering, let me get this out of here, offering the true essence of New York style pizza, both by the slice as whole pies and by as whole pies. Our daily made dough, crafted with our proprietary water blend, is the secret behind the authentic New York City pizza experience we proudly serve. Despite our non-New York City roots, we've clinched multiple victories in New York City pizza making contests, a testament to our dedication to delivering the genuine taste of the Big Apple. So that just gives you a little background of the persona that we're going to take on in this website video. So we want to have AI create web copy for a description of an 18-inch pizza. So we'll first, tab. We'll first bring in a text editor. And in that text editor here, we're going to go up to the right with AI.
Right now.
And we will say, create web copy for the description of an 18-inch pizza, what it gives us. Okay, so it gave us a pretty lengthy description. Introducing our delicious 18-inch pepperoni pizza, a fan favorite that is sure to satisfy your craving for a classic pizza experience. We start with the freshest pizza dough made from scratch and a hand tossed to perfection. Then we add a generous amount of rich tomato sauce topped with mounds of bubbling mozzarella cheese and finish it off with a generous sprinkle of zesty pepperoni slices. So it's a pretty good description of an 18-inch pizza. It closes with, whether you're sharing with your friends or enjoying it on your own, our 18-inch pizza, pepperoni pizza, is the perfect way to satisfy your pizza cravings. So come on in, place your order, and enjoy a slice of pizza perfection today. Pretty good description of 18-inch pizza. Right here, built into AI, into Elementor. You can either decide to use a new prompt, you don't like it. You can either make it shorter, make it longer. You want to make it shorter, it'll spin up another one. Okay,
But
now.
did you do the training first, or have you put the training information in?
No, I didn't put any training information in other than the sentence. As a matter of fact, I can even back up a step and show you that there's nothing there. You remember when I first came in and deleted all the containers out? So there's nothing there. It just built that off of everything else. Now, what I can do is train it. Let's do that. Let's put our training data in and see if it personalizes. So I like to say, I like to just tell it that it's the training data that I'm gonna give it. And then our prompt is create web copy for the description of an 18-inch pizza. I'm gonna paste that in and generate text, see what we have. So now it should give us a more personalized response. So it says, indulge in our authentic 18-inch New York style pizza. Perfect combination of flavored toppings and handcrafted dough made with our daily proprietary. So it does start to give us a more personalized answer.
It picked up the fact that you're in Atlanta.
Correct. Our pizzeria is based in Atlanta, has clinched multiple contests. Whether you're in the mood for a slice or a whole pie, our pepperoni pizza is guaranteed to satisfy your craving and transport you to the city that never sleeps. Yeah, so that's a pretty good, so we could decide to use it and it's there. Quick, fast, we didn't have to go outside to ChatGPT. Let's see how ChatGPT would handle that same request. So we've cleared the context, so we're gonna give it the training data first. So because this is ChatGPT, I can go on and just give it the training data first. And then, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Because I can't see it. Hold on. I have to move.
Need a bigger screen, Brian.
Yeah, I do. There we go. Okay. So because it's ChatGPT, I can train it, then give it the prompt itself. So it's a little bit more detailed on the ChatGPT side. It leads with a heading. Gives a little bit more description, but it still looks like it has the same. It's providing our Atlanta background.
Yeah.
I like that it's putting headings in.
Yeah. So what I've noticed is if you need quick web copy, if you need quick heading, if you need anything super detailed or super specific, I would still go outside to ChatGPT. But if you need a short, simple description of something, the tool does a great job. Let me see if it can shorten. Did I put the R in there? Oh, if I did. Shorten, I did. Okay. Still gives you a heading, but here's your shortened. Dive into an authentic New York City experience with our 18-inch pepperoni pizza, crafted in Atlanta, our daily made dough, enhanced by a unique water blend, boosts the genuine crisp and softness of New York City crust. Yeah. And that's as good as that, as the Elementor AI.
Yeah.
So that's text. That's what it can do. The beautiful thing about it and what made it a game changer for me was that I can now do this inside of Elementor. I don't have to leave Elementor to do this. And I still am married to ChatGPT to a certain extent. But I found it a no-brainer to have access to this level of AI inside of Elementor. I can get the content and keep going.
I haven't looked for it, Brian, in documentation, but is there a word count limit on text in Elementor AI? You know, like on some of the AI tools, they say 5,000 word limit, or have you read anything about that or seen anything about that for
No,
Elementor?
I haven't seen it. I haven't tested it that far yet. We'll probably get into that when we get to the code, because one of these examples that I have for the code, especially the HTML one, is pretty lengthy. So that will get into a lot of characters. So we can definitely see if we go over that limit with that. Good question though, because that's the reason why I started using Claude now, because Claude, if you guys are familiar with Claude AI, is basically ChatGPT, but it doesn't have the character limits, or it's doubled or tripled the character limits that you have with ChatGPT. So,
But didn't you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but didn't you purchase this, Brian?
yeah, I purchased the annual package. I think it's $40, a little bit short of $40, I think, annually.
Okay, so you got so they go by credits. So there's like
Yeah.
8,000 credits for the one that you got.
Correct.
That
18,000.
18,000
Yeah.
credit.
Yeah.
So basically, so he's got an annual amount of credits to spend on the mix of prompts he wants to enter.
Right.
So like a text prompt is 1 credit, a code prompt is 1 credit, an image prompt is 33 credits.
Yeah, we
Correct.
talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all must have started on time. Why are y'all starting so early?
No, yeah, that's exactly how it is, Sharon. I have all the playing around I've done in it has just solely been text. I know Carrie has done. Carrie presented in the beginning on images. So
What
yeah,
time y'all start? I thought y'all started at 7.
We do, but Eastern.
Oh
it's,
yeah, so my calendar's off. I'm so sorry.
yeah, no, you're okay. You're all right. So yeah, that's correct. And that's gonna be the trickiest part, is what happens when you exhaust your credits. Do you have to buy a whole nother plan? Do you buy them then incrementally? What is that? What are those increments? Is it 12 cents a minute? You know,
It says, well, I don't, if I remember correctly. So this is a while back since we had that AI meeting with the elementary people, but I know that they said that you're not able to roll credits over.
yeah, they did.
I think they automatically reset, but if you run out, I'm sure that they they should tell you, I guess, do you want to purchase like additional credits or something? I don't remember them answering that question though.
Yeah, I'll find out and let the group know. Because that's gonna be one of my questions going forward. I know I'm gonna use it for text. I'm definitely gonna use it for code, and that's the next thing I'm gonna get into. Because the code is a game changer. It's a game changer to me.
Yeah, why don't we
And
jump into that, Brian, since we're getting close to the time?
Yeah, no problem. So the next thing we're going to do is play around with the code. So the first is CSS. So let me pull an image in first and choose. Do I have any images here? Oh, let's do let's do this.
Yeah, let's do the pepperoni pizza. Stay on a consistent theme.
Yeah. So since we're doing the CSS, we're going to come down to CSS and we're going to hit the edit with AI. So the prompt that we have is upon, well, no, we don't want that. Well, let's take half of it. We'll take all except opening the page. So what we wanted to do is have the logo spin on a horizontal axis.
Why don't you change it, Brian? Why don't you change it after load? Have the logo spin or something.
Yeah, so what it's going to do is the logo is going to spin on a horizontal axis for 3 rotations, then come to a smooth, bouncy stop. So let's see what happens with that prompt. Yeah, I should have grabbed the logo, but I grabbed the pizza, but it should still do the same thing. So let's see what code it spins up. Okay, looks good. We're gonna say insert it. Hasn't given me any error messages saying that it won't. It's saying, here's the CSS code to make the logo spin on a horizontal axis for 3 rotations, then come to a smooth, bouncy stop, wrapped with the selector selector. So we're gonna hit insert. And 3. That's not that much of a smooth stop, but you kind of get the point.
But you're on Zoom, nothing's going to be smooth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's probably smoother live.
Yeah, but it gave you what you're looking for. Now, if your prompt was a little bit better than just spinning on a horizontal axis or whatever, but it gave me the functionality that I needed on this image. I could go view page. Oh, I didn't update. Stay. Update. Update. Why are you not updating? There we go.
There you go.
And that's the functionality I was looking for.
Cool.
Yeah, not that bad. So next example is going to be, let me get back. Where am I? Cannot see with the zoom. Oh, let's see. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is so image hovers for 3 images. Let's see. Go back to Elementor. So we're just gonna pull in three images of pizzas. And what we wanted to do is when we hover over the image, it should turn full color. When you're not hovering, it should be grayscale. When you hover over it, it should turn full color and have rounded edges. So let's pull one of those in. Take you. Well, let me take you. Sorry, guys, I gotta keep moving the Zoom stuff all
I
around.
understand.
So we're gonna duplicate that. Uh-oh.
What you can do, Brian, is take restore it to the size it was.
Yeah. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Just what you need on your tab for your container with the dots at the top. If you want to go left or right,
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh,
go to style. No, okay, that's right. Direction. You had it. You had it
Change the direction.
to
yeah.
row.
There we go. All right, so we got our 3 images. Let me just change this one. There we go. And that one to that. Okay.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, we're a New York City pizza shop here in Atlanta. So we're good there. So we're now on the container. We will go to custom CSS, grab our prompt. Okay. Go to edit with AI. Paste our prompt in. Our prompt is going to say, for the images, upon hover, change the filter from grayscale to full color and the border radius from 0 to 50% with a smooth transition effect. So that's hopefully what we'll get the code for. Okay, we didn't get any errors. It said, here's the CSS code. And then we'll only apply to inside. So that's perfect. Okay, so we have our grayscale. And when we hover over, we are getting the full color. I think the problem is these are round images. So if it's round,
Well, if you click on one of the images and
Put a
then
background around them.
go to style and go to border type, but 3/4 of the way down. There you go. Go solid. This is solid. Okay. Now update it and try your code again. There you go.
yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, so let's take a look at it. Did I update that? Yeah. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, I didn't think about I used round images, so it should have rounded the edges of a square image. Now that I think of
Right.
it, that would have gave the better effect of
But I
you
like that too.
yeah, yeah. But you can see how easy you get functionality.
That's good.
You know, if I wouldn't have known how to needed to find the CSS, I would have had to go find the code somewhere. Now that because I use ChatGPT so much, my brain is trained to, okay, go there first. But if I'm now able to do this directly in Elementor, and now I can move on to my next task in the build,
Hmm.
that's worth $40 a month. A month. Whoa, a year.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What else you
So
got for us?
the last thing, and it'll just take a second, is same premise code, but now we're really going to try to break same theme as a pizza company, but now we want to create an order form using HTML so visitors can order pizzas in the following sizes: 16, 18, and 21 inch with the following options for toppings. And here's all your toppings. Or buy the following specialty pizzas and only provide the description of it should be specialty pizza. Good catch. And only provide the description of the specialty pizza when the visitor hovers over it with a text overlay of 60% opacity on the image. Of 60% on the image. So here are all the specialty pizzas. We also wanted to create an image using AI. Well, no, we're not going to do that. So that's a pretty long prompt. Now we're going to see if it can be done. How much time I got, Carrie? Like 5 minutes? Not even that.
Oh, you got all night, man.
Yeah, I wish. I have to keep moving these things out of the way. What are you doing? Why are you trying to open in Gutenberg? Why are you opening in Gutenberg? Okay. So we're going to get the HTML, pull it in. Then we're going to use our edit with AI HTML code. Grab your prompt. Oh, sorry about this, guys. I had already tried this out before, and all that formatting from Word was throwing it off. So I took the formatting out. Okay, so there's that long prompt. And it's still working, which gives me hope it would have errored out by now if it wasn't able to provide the code.
It makes you wonder though when it goes long like this, like is it ever gonna finish or is it
Nah, I did error. Okay, let's try that same code here. Same exact code. And ChatGPT spits it out. So what I've noticed is on super complex issues, you still need to come to ChatGPT. We're gonna test this code and see. We're gonna test this code and see if it works.
I wonder what they're gonna use for the form though. It may just be the layout. Well, we'll see.
So it gave us a drop down for the
Yeah, that's
pizza.
good.
Toppings, it didn't give us all the toppings. And only gave us, so it's still struggling with, and it was probably because my request was a little too expansive. What I would have done in the real world was I would have broke it up into chunks and allowed ChatGPT to give me one portion and then the second.
Gotcha.
But being able to create,
Is there a reason why you didn't split this one up into chunks? Because that's what I would have done here.
because like I mentioned at the beginning, how I like to try to break it and then work backwards from breaking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you find out what the limits of it are.
Yeah.
Well, I think that this biggest thing that I am looking forward to is the CSS stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because there's
And that's what made me,
some of those CSS animation things are actually, I do them so infrequently. I always have to go back and either look at something I did previously and see how I did it, or look it up. This will do it for you. Cool.
yeah, I mean, like this effect, outside of the border not working, this is something that a real world example that you can easily spin up with CSS just like that and keep going. You don't have to find a plugin that does this feature or what have you. Just so that's what I felt about it.
Well, cool, Brian. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts about the new AI tool and its enhancements?
Is anybody going to use it?
You know what? I haven't purchased the Elementor because I use ChatGPT. If I do use it at all, but I hardly use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You paid for GPT Pro?
Yeah, which is why I kind of refuse to pay for, Elementor since I've already
Elementor.
bought one. I don't want to buy another.
Yeah, and that was my thought the entire time. The only thing, the thing that changed my mind, like Carrie just said, was the CSS inside of the Elementor.
Yeah.
That
and hopefully it'll get better. I imagine it will. I mean, they advance their model. I mean, I'm seeing issues with images the same way we used to see them with Midjourney 6 months ago, with 6 fingers or 3 legs or an eye in the middle of their forehead.
Three
And
eyes.
what I guess you can expect is the tool to keep advancing like it has now, you know.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do images at all when they first rolled it out. So
Yeah.
All righty. I think we're running just a little bit over time. I appreciate everybody who came. And
Oh, I'm so
everybody
sorry I was
stayed.
late. I just got my time mixed up. I'm so
oh no,
sorry.
you're okay. No,
That's
you're
okay.
fine.
That's okay. But we'll let me stop the recording here.
That's what the sun does to us here.
Mhm. Sun's probably still up at 8, 9 o'clock.